Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell, and in today's video, we're going to get into specific driving forces that can initiate or support business change. And in our previous video, we discussed Lewin's force field analysis, which was focusing on how businesses can identify the driving and restraining forces that impact their ability to implement change successfully. Now, what we're going to do is take a deeper look into the specific driving forces that can be responsible for initiating or supporting those changes and pushing the business towards the new desired state. And in our study design, we have 11 key driving forces. Now, although this isn't an exhaustive list of driving forces for business change, they are specifically listed in our study design. So we need to address each one and look at how they can instigate or propel change within a business. And what you'll find in this video, when we go through each of these driving forces, we're just going to look at examples of how they can be a potential driving force. That's not necessarily meaning that this is the only way that they can be a driving force for change within a business. So we begin with the owners of a business. So as we know, owners are motivated by profits and return on their investment, and they can initiate change or pressure the CEOs or senior managers to initiate changes with the aim of increasing profits or a return on that investment that they've put into the business. So, more active owners, those that are involved in the day to day operations or more involved in the operations of the business, can support proposed changes by inspiring others towards a specific direction, while less active owners, those that aren't really in the operations of the business, they may put pressure on the day to day managers to increase the profitability. And new owners that come into the business can also be a real driving force for change because they may introduce fresh ideas, which drives the business towards a new direction. Managers are responsible for the key decisions in the daily operations and often initiate changes to help the business work towards its vision. Now, managers will review KPI data, that key performance indicator data, and respond accordingly by implementing changes that can improve that KPI data within the business. Managers can also act as a really good supporter of change and be a driving force that way by inspiring and supporting their teams, by communicating effectively what the change is going to be, and helping employees navigate any challenges that they have. And that can be a real driver for change within a business. Employees can also be a driving force for change, so they may demand better working conditions, higher wages, or push for improvements in processes, in safety, and product quality. Employees often have ideas on how areas of the business can be improved, and that can spark innovation and change within a business. And if the employees are on board with a particular change and they're actually excited about the change, they can act as a real driving force as they'll be working hard towards the successful implementation of the change. Competitors are the rival businesses in the same market and they're competing for market share. So that can prompt changes in a business as they compete for that market share and compete for to attract customers. So when a competitor introduces a new product or a service or marketing campaign, a business may need to adapt to try and remain competitive. And they can drive changes in lots of different areas of the business, including pricing, marketing, product features, and even employee paying conditions as they fight to attract high quality employees. Legislation can also act as a driving force when new laws force a business to comply with new regulations. For example, recent changes to the national retail law have necessitated business such as Coles and other supermarkets to update their contracts with suppliers to try and improve the fairness of those contracts and meet the new standards. Because failure to comply with those changes in legislation can result in legal consequences for the business. Profits are the real lifeblood of a business, and the pursuit of those increased profits can be a significant driving force. So, businesses are constantly seeking ways to increase their profits, which can often lead to changes in products, services that are being offered, marketing campaigns, and operations. So, as we know, profits can come from increasing revenues or by reducing costs or achieving both if the business is able to do so. And so, businesses are often initiating changes towards the increasing of those revenues or reducing those costs with the aim of improving profits. Similarly, reducing costs can lead to a whole range of changes within a business. So, businesses may see that their costs are increasing in a particular area and look to reduce costs that way, or it could just be an ongoing process where they're looking for ways to reduce their costs. So, that drive to improve profit margins can often lead to strategies such as reducing wastage, sourcing cheaper materials, outsourcing manufacturing, or restructuring. And that was the case with Disney, that underwent a significant restructure in 2023 by cutting 7,000 jobs, and that led to them reducing their operating costs. Globalisation is where the economic boundaries are removed, which enables businesses to operate internationally. So, globalisation can increase competition for local businesses, but can also allow Australian businesses to make use of global partners. So, globalisation can instigate changes within a business to try and take advantage of global customers and access a larger customer base, or other global networks that can improve the quality and efficiency of the business. Technology can also be a key driving force within a business because it can open up new opportunities, but also disrupt existing business models. So, the need to adapt to new technologies to stay competitive can be a real driver of significant change throughout all areas of the business. Now, some technological advancements can improve the way that a business is operating, while others can significantly disrupt an entire industry, and failure to change or adapt to those technological advances could see the ultimate demise of a particular business if they don't implement changes in response. Innovation is the adoption of something new or improving on what already exists. And so companies can innovate, create new products, services, or business methods are more likely to succeed in the long run, and therefore can be a key driver of change. And Apple's Vision Pro and many of their other products is an excellent example of innovation at work. And finally, we have societal attitudes consisting of the changing values, ideas, and beliefs and expectations of those members in our community. Now, those changes in attitudes can influence business practices significantly. So, businesses need to stay in sync with the societal demands so that they stay relevant with their customer base. For instance, an increased demand for environmentally friendly or healthier products can significantly change product offerings. And that was the case with Coles, where they've expanded their healthy food range and also the amount of shelf space they allocate to those types of products. So, just to recap, driving forces are those that are working to initiate or support the business towards a particular change. There are 11 listed in our study design that we went through today. Keep in mind that is not an exhaustive list necessarily of all the driving forces that are going to drive change or support change within a business. However, they are specifically listed in our study design, so you do need to know all 11 of those. And keep in mind that this video was focusing on how each of these can be a driving force, and they are examples only. So you may come up with other ways that they could be a driving force within a business in a certain situation, and they are fine to use. So that brings us to the end of this video. In the next video, we're going to look at the other side and look at restraining forces. But until then, just remember that for questions, activities, and help in your VCE journey, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.